The cycle of destruction is not merely an event in the restarting the apocalypse saga. It is a grinding, inevitable gear in the machinery of a world that refuses to die. And in Old Trials Anew, the relentless fourth movement of Michael Chatfield's epic, that machinery is shifting into a terrifying new configuration. Chatfield, the master of the system apocalypse subgenre, delivers a visceral, deeply intense masterpiece that pivots from the shock of initial collapse to the calculated, grueling logistics of surviving a world that is actively trying to rewrite its own rules of physics. This isn't a story of simple survival. It is a rapid-fire, deeply intense plunge into the logistical nightmare of managing a burgeoning civilization in the ruins of the old, the perilous collision between a hardened survivor's mastery of the system and the emergence of ancient, dormant trials that have returned to claim the world once more, and the terrifying truth that when you level up to survive, you only increase the magnitude of the monsters waiting to challenge you. Chatfield hooks the audience instantly by constructing a high-stakes, hyper-focused trap. The heroes who have managed to carve out a foothold in the chaos find that the game board is expanding, forcing them to rerun the most lethal challenges of the past with exponentially higher stakes. The narrative center zeroes in on the protagonist's methodical, high-pressure descent into the old trials, a series of forgotten, systemic bottlenecks that the world engine is forcing them to complete to keep the reality integrity from failing. As they traverse the shattered, monster-infested landscapes that were once their hometowns and the dangerously shifting, procedurally generated dungeons of the new world, they realize that their previous success was not the end, it was the entry requirement. The investigation into why these trials have returned now quickly escalates into a dangerous, high-stakes tactical chess match as they discover that the system is not just punishing humanity, it is pruning it. Forced to juggle the logistical nightmare of training a new generation of survivors, the constant, suffocating threat of reality glitches that delete whole regions of the map, and the mounting, undeniable encounter with the cost of their own superhuman growth, they must synthesize a new way of existing, one built on tactical progression, radical, improvised community management, and an unyielding, purely human refusal to let their progress be reset by the world's relentless, unforgiving machinery. Chatfield's writing style is unapologetically methodical, machine gun fast, and saturated with an intense, authentic blend of LitRPG technical jargon, sharp, cynical, strategic wit, and high-stakes environmental dread. He builds exceptional structural tension by pairing the mundane, aching routines of survival, managing character stats, optimizing skill trees, and enduring the quiet, crushing weight of leadership with the chaotic, nightmare-filled assaults of the world's shifting, power-hungry vistas. The story moves forward with a relentless, momentum-driven energy, turning routine analytical probes, calculated maneuvers through the systemic sprawl, and tense, high-stakes standoffs with lethal environment-scaled bosses into pulse-pounding steps closer to an inevitable, reality-defining confrontation. The presentation thrives on the sharp, analytical focus, making every discovered skill unlock, every executed defensive maneuver, and every deep-seated fear confronted feel like a high-stakes victory for the human spirit. What makes Old Trials Anew an exceptional entry in the post-apocalyptic canon is Chatfield's unparalleled ability to develop a highly compelling, logic-driven protagonist whose progression discipline is treated as a supreme navigational asset rather than a tragic, fading memory. Watch as they transform their experience with systemic failure into a compass, learning to navigate the chaotic apocalypse to outmaneuver an entity that operates with absolute, terrifying precision. As the structural walls of their reality begin to collapse and the true scope of the old trials is exposed, the pacing transforms into a breathless, heart-pounding race to maintain the shred of truth they carry before their consciousness is permanently unstitched by the system's relentless, physics-enforcing machinery. The final act is an absolute masterclass in suspense, delivering a barrage of explosive realizations, shattered paradigms, and a spectacular, jaw-dropping climax that completely leaves the reader thoroughly stunned. For fans of thrillers demanding a brilliant, character-driven, and masterfully paced exploration of survival and progression, this book delivers an unforgettable shockwave.